Hey everyone, I've been lurking here for a while, just trying to get a grip on everything since my wife cheated on me. We've been married for 8 years, together for even longer, and we've got 2 young kids. This past year's been rough. We've had some arguments, sure, but nothing that made me think she'd go and have an affair. Lately, though, she's been pulling away, distant, cold, barely talking. One night, I finally asked her what was going on. She told me she wasn't happy anymore, that she didn't feel that spark between us. At first, I blamed myself. I hadn't been the most attentive partner lately, and I owned up to that. Then the next day, I saw something on her phone that shattered me, a gushy, love-soaked message from some guy. Turns out, she'd been messaging him for a long time. I love you, future together. All that. It hit me like a freight train. Thanks to advice I read in forums, I didn't go off the rails right away. I did my research, talked to a couple lawyers, I even put one on retainer, and just tried to keep my head straight. A couple days later, I calmly asked her if she was having an affair. She didn't deny it for long. After a few tense minutes, she admitted everything. Said it had been going on for 6 months and described it as the deepest emotional connection she's ever had. Total garbage, if you asked me. I told her we needed boundaries. I said if she wanted to try fixing this, we'd need marriage counseling, and she'd have to cut off all contact with him. That was the deal breaker. She refused. Wouldn't even block him in front of me. Said she needed to see him one last time. I held my ground and said, "If he's that important, pack your bags and go live with him." That's when she snapped, called me a controlling jerk. She texted me this morning, probably trying to soften the blow. I bet she'll try another way to reach out soon. But honestly, I don't see any future with her anymore. I just want to be able to tell my kids one day that I gave it my all. We've got counseling tomorrow, but I'm already leaning toward going through with the divorce. The paperwork's ready, just waiting to be filed. I've got to think about what's best for me and my kids. Playing the doormat won't get us anywhere. The last few weeks have been brutal, but they've also given me a chance to clear my head. We went to counseling after our first big talk, and to be honest, the therapist was great, really fair, didn't take sides. She helped us talk through what happened and pointed out where we both went wrong in the relationship. Doesn't excuse what my wife did, but it's good insight for moving forward and not repeating old mistakes. Still, my wife didn't do what I asked. I saw messages between her and the guy again, and then she went radio silent. That was it for me. I filed for divorce. She was served a few days ago. I had a long talk with my father-in-law after that. We've always been close, and he gets it. Our priority now has to be the kids, not our broken marriage. My wife took it hard. She built this fantasy and watched it fall apart. But the therapist helped her understand where I was coming from. Since I filed, I've noticed a shift in her. She's been emotional, clearly didn't think I'd actually go through with it. I've kept my distance, but we've had more calm, focused conversations about the kids and what comes next. I told her straight up, she tore this family apart. If she wants to help repair anything, she has to put in the work, respect my boundaries, and give me space. Her choices were unbelievably selfish, the kind of betrayal that leaves a scar. But we still have kids to raise, and that has to stay front and center. I'm doing everything I can to keep things stable for them. I've worked hard not to sink into anger or self-pity. I made the right moves to protect myself, keep my dignity, and look ahead. I don't have all the answers yet. My emotions are still all over the place. But for the first time in a while, I'm starting to feel something like peace. Now I'm wondering, have any other betrayed spouses used that affair fog state to their advantage in divorce proceedings? Because right now, my soon-to-be ex is still in deep. She's still reaching out to the guy. And I'm trying to figure out the smartest way to move forward from here. I've tried not to bug her about it too much. But yeah, my wife cheated. She built a deeper emotional bond with someone else. And while there's still a kind of love between us, we're definitely not in love anymore. I filed for divorce. It's been about a month and a half since everything came to light, and I've been doing my best to move forward. The process is still rolling, and I'll share more when the time feels right. If you've been through something like this, I'd love to hear your take, lessons learned, things you wish you'd known. Just looking for any extra wisdom out there that might help as I work through this mess. I've told some in-laws, my side of the family, and a few close friends about the divorce, but I've kept it somewhat quiet, trying to protect some privacy. Meanwhile, it seems like my soon-to-be ex has been telling her side to anyone who will listen. Now I'm getting the cold shoulder from her family and some others. That part's been hard, having people you were once close with suddenly look at you like you're the villain, even though I've been a good dad and she's the one who broke her vows. Do people eventually see the truth? Or do they just move on and write their own version of the story? I try to remind myself, anyone who can flip that easily probably wasn't really in my corner to begin with. I'm keeping my focus where it belongs, on my kids and my side of the truth. I know what happened. And at the end of the day, that's what matters most. Fast forward to today, and I finally feel like there's some closure to all of this. It's been a long road since last summer, when I first came here looking for advice. Being in this process while your closest family is miles away, it forces you to sit with your thoughts. But in that quiet, there's been a lot of reflection, and a bit of wisdom, too. To recap, my wife cheated. And when I realized she was fully committed to that other guy, I filed for divorce. No waiting around. The past few months were tense but mostly drama-free. We lived under the same roof, kept our distance, and focused on co-parenting. The discovery phase and mediation moved fast. We worked out a 50-50 custody split, and handled the asset division like grown-ups. Our state's no-fault laws made things pretty straightforward, with just a bit of back and forth on who gets what. Now we're nearly done. The divorce is basically finalized. If there's any advice I can offer from this whole experience, it's this. Don't do the pick-me dance. I tried for a week, thinking maybe she'd come back. It didn't work. She made her choice, and that's hers to live with. Hire a good family law attorney. Find someone calm, experienced, and fair. Mine was worth every penny, and helped me avoid a dragged-out, expensive mess. Lean on your people. Friends, family, anyone who has your back. That support kept me from losing my mind. Work out. Seriously. I hit the weights about a month after D-Day, and it's helped more than I can say. The confidence boost has been huge. Talk to a counselor. Individual therapy gave me a place to unload everything. I can't recommend it enough. Own the truth. Your partner's affair? That's on them. No matter what excuses they give. My soon-to-be ex fed me all kinds of justifications. But the truth is, she let someone into her life who told her everything she wanted to hear. She let that feed her ego. And to keep it going, she had to make me the villain. All while confiding in a guy who's already been divorced twice, a man with zero integrity. That's not on me. That's all on her. We're not quite at the final page yet, but the last chapter's already being written. Poor decisions come with real consequences. That's all I'll say about that. I'm also getting close to moving into my own place. Because of the kids and some legal stuff, I've stayed in our house through most of this. But I've been sharing updates here and there, and now I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, I'll still have to co-parent with my cheating ex. But I've made it crystal clear, she ended this marriage. There's no friendship left to salvage. She chose someone else. I'm not letting her hang around in my life pretending to help with my new place just to soothe her guilt. She's not welcome in my house. Anyone else ever deal with that? An ex who wants to stay close, for appearances, to make it seem like everything's amicable and smooth? I get it. It's a performance. But I'm not playing that part. Her affair partner hasn't popped up yet. She tries to hide it, but I know it's just a matter of time before they show up in public. Their deep emotional connection is bound to come out. I won't be part of that disaster, but I'll be watching from a safe distance when it all goes up in flames. Today, it's official. The divorce decree came in. I'm no longer married. I got the keys to my new place this afternoon. And soon we start moving. I decided to do a buyout just to make a clean break and start fresh. Got pretty lucky too. I found this great place just a minute from the house I used to share with my ex. It's well kept, has a massive backyard, a wood-burning fire pit, a spacious garage, and it backs up to a nature preserve. Honestly, it's like my own private slice of paradise. Some people might ask why I chose to stay so close, and the answer's simple: my kids. I want them to know their dad is nearby, always just around the corner if they need me. Thanks to a lot of advice from this community, I refocused my energy on what really matters. I started working out again, and I leaned into a new career opportunity that's actually turning out to be a big win. I haven't bothered with dating or looking for a new partner. That's not where my head's at. Right now, I'm embracing single life, putting all my energy into my 2 kids and my own personal growth. As for my ex and the guy she cheated with, I've started to let go of all that. It's just not my mess to clean up anymore. Like someone here once said, if you're with a cheater, you're getting a cheater. I gave everything I had as a husband and a father. Now it's someone else's turn to figure that out. That said, in all this free time I've gained, I've done a lot of thinking, sometimes too much. I keep replaying the life I thought we had. The one we were building. And it just blows my mind how fast it all disappeared. I still ask myself, how could she throw it all away like that? We had a solid future. Our careers were finally taking off after years of hard work. We owned our home outright. Our kids were past the diaper stage, and we even had college funds set up for them. Things were finally feeling stable. And then she blew it all up. For what? A guy who's a serial cheater. Someone totally unreliable? I know I should be done thinking about him, but man, the stupidity of it still stings. I know desire can't be forced. I get that. But the whole point of marriage is choosing to grow together, to keep falling in love again and again, even when it's hard. She chose to walk away from that, not just from me, but from everything we built. Quick update for anyone going through D-Day and wondering if there's life after 6 weeks post-divorce decree, and I'm settling into my new home. It's been about a month since I moved in, and I've poured myself into making it feel like mine. Fully furnished now. It's my sanctuary. My kids love it. They've been over a bunch, and our schedule's working out great. It's true what they say, kids are resilient. Seeing them happy and comfortable here has been the biggest relief. For me, adjusting to the freedom was weird at first. But I've stayed busy, made lists, set weekly goals, long-term plans. Staying active really helps keep the sadness at bay. I've thrown myself into home improvement projects, fitness, and most importantly, quality time with my kids. As for the cheating ex, I keep it polite and distant. That's it. No sign of her soulmate yet. Honestly, I'm kind of amazed he hasn't shown up. But I don't care. Not my problem. Tonight I sat outside, cracked a couple beers, lit a cigar, and just enjoyed the peace. The stillness. And for the first time in a long time, it felt like I could breathe. If you're at the beginning of this, doubting yourself, unsure if you can walk away, I get it. It's brutal. Heartbreak is no joke. But cutting a cheater loose was the only right move for me. And with time, I know it'll keep getting better. Now into month 2 of being on my own, and the house is shaping up nicely. My kids and I are making new memories, and I've got a few fun trips planned with them. I've kept following all the usual advice. Upped my weight training, cleaned up my diet, upgraded my home gym, and I'm hitting the heavy bag like it owes me money. It's working. My counselor even pointed out the positive physical changes, and more importantly, the mental ones. That kind of affirmation goes a long way. Still not dating. Not even thinking about it, really. It's early. I'm enjoying the freedom, staying busy with new projects, and spending time with people who matter. Which brings me to the big question I'm sure a lot of us ask: has karma caught up to the cheater and their new flame yet? Unfortunately, no satisfying twist just yet. No dramatic downfall. No exposed affair partner. It's been total radio silence. For something that was supposedly the deepest emotional connection of her life, it sure hasn't gone public. Makes me wonder if she's keeping him under wraps, maybe trying to manage how she looks. But let's be real, the thrill of sneaking around is gone. I'm not in the picture anymore. So what's the hold-up? Who knows? And at this point, I don't care. I've got this gut feeling they're still in contact. She makes it pretty obvious, too, always tucking her phone away the moment I show up at the kids' events. Like she's got something to hide. And I keep asking myself, why? She wanted this. She risked everything to sneak around and chase this so-called amazing connection. So now that the horrible husband is out of the picture, why isn't she broadcasting their love story to the world? What's she hiding now? Has anyone else been through this? Where the ex and affair partner are still acting like they're having an affair, even when they're technically together? Anyway, I'm creeping up on the 6-month mark since the divorce was finalized, and almost a full year since D-Day. I just wanted to check in and maybe offer a little support to anyone else going through the same nightmare. I can't even express how grateful I am for the help I got from this community, so if I can return the favor in any small way, I will. 6 months out, and honestly, there's a lot of good news. My house finally feels like a home. My kids are happy and comfortable when they're here, and they've made some great neighborhood friends. I'm beyond thankful that they've adjusted so well. No complaints, no tears when switching between mom and dad's place. Just normal kid stuff, which is all I could have hoped for. I've thrown myself into home projects. The house needed some love after the last owner let it go a bit, but I saw that as a chance to make it truly mine. I even set up a legit home gym, and now I'm boxing and working out 4 times a week. Feels good to get my body and my mind back in shape. Work's also taken a big turn. I landed an internal careers shift that's been surprisingly rewarding. I kept my personal life out of the office, stayed focused, and ended up getting a raise and new responsibilities. It's been a reminder that life does keep moving forward. Mentally? It's still a battle some days. The focus wavers. But therapy and physical discipline have made a huge difference. I think of my ex less and less each day, and every bit of progress feels like a little weight lifted off my chest. As for her? Still floating in her fantasy bubble, but we co-parent just fine. I've made it clear, our communication is strictly about the kids. Nothing else. I stay polite, but that's as far as it goes. And if you've been following this story, you're probably wondering, what's the deal with the other man? Well, turns out their once-in-a-lifetime love story still hasn't gone public. My kids mentioned he's been around in small ways, so clearly he's lurking in the background. But they're still sneaking around, even now, 6 months after D-Day. I mean, really? These are the signs of a relationship built to last? At this point, I've just accepted it. Whatever happens, happens. I'm just grateful to be away from someone capable of lying so easily to the one person who trusted her most. I've got a real shot at building a better life now, one that's authentic, healthy, and mine. Good riddance, and good luck to them. On a lighter note, I had a great talk with one of my closest buddies last night over a few beers. It's funny how Friday night barstool conversations can make everything clearer. He went through his own divorce 7 years ago, and weirdly, our exes even share the same birthday. We got to talking about the slow reveal that's been happening between my ex and the affair partner, and I admitted it still bugs me a bit when the kids say things about him being around. That's when my buddy hit me with something I'll never forget. He said, "Man, just think about it, 2 cheaters stuck with each other. That guy's got no value. He manipulated a married woman with kids. Now he has to make it work with her or he looks like the scumbag everyone already knows he is." He went on, "You, on the other hand, you're free. You can meet someone new, move on, and live your life. But they're stuck. He's living in a house he didn't build, with kids who aren't his, tied to a woman who blew up her marriage to be with him. That's not love, that's a prison." And damn, that hit hard. But it helped. The more I think about it, the more I realize how right he is. They have to pretend it's working now, no matter how miserable it gets. Because if it crashes and burns, everyone sees the truth. And they'll both look like fools. Me? I'm free. And honestly, that's the best revenge there is. One last thing, and I could really use some advice here. My daughter's birthday is this weekend. We already did a small celebration last weekend with just my family, kept it simple, cake, gifts, some laughs. She loved it. Now my ex is planning her usual over-the-top. Look how awesome I am! Party this weekend. I was invited. But here's the kicker, I just found out the affair partner will be there. So, what would you do? I called my ex out, straight up told her what a low move it was. She didn't say a word in response. To make things worse, some of her coworkers, friends, and even family, all of whom knew about the affair, were going to be at the party. And it was being held at my old house. Basically, enemy territory. The whole thing felt like a trap. And to top it off, it was for my daughter's birthday. After everything we'd been through since the divorce, I couldn't shake the feeling that this was just a setup. No matter what I did, it would have been a lose-lose situation. I even talked it through with some great folks here, and yeah, it felt like walking into a pit of snakes. The only plan I had in mind was to show up looking sharp. Fresh haircut, dressed well, showing off the results of the hard work I've been putting in, physically and mentally. But even with that, I couldn't shake the unease. It felt manipulative. Like my ex was pushing for some petty, reactive outburst. She wanted me to snap. And I wasn't going to give her that. Any advice was appreciated at that point. Update, and this one's actually kind of satisfying. Originally, I told my ex I'd be coming to the party. What I didn't tell her was that I changed my mind. Saturday morning, I swung by the house to drop off a birthday card and gift for my daughter. Turns out, the kids were at their grandparents' for the morning, so the house was quiet. As I pulled into the driveway in my sports car, I noticed his car parked on the street. I didn't say a word, just calmly walked into the backyard where my ex and the affair partner were setting up decorations. You should have seen their faces. Total panic. Like they'd seen a ghost. But I wasn't angry. Weirdly, I just felt sorry for them. They looked so small. Sad even. That's growth, right? I kept it together and told them I was just there to drop off my daughter's gift, that I wouldn't be staying. My ex looked shocked and practically begged me to join. But I stayed polite and firm. Told her I already gave my daughter the gift over at her grandparents' place, and then I left. Right before walking off, I even gave Om a little nod and said, "See you around, bro." Calm. Cool. Collected. About 3 minutes later, my phone rang. It was my ex, once again pleading with me to come back. I politely said no. Later, I spent some time with my kids at their grandparents', played for a bit, then said my goodbyes. No drama. No pointed comments. Just kindness and boundaries. I went home, worked on the house, got in a solid workout, which I needed after the emotional weight of the morning, and even went on a date. It wasn't amazing, but the woman was nice. More than anything, it was a good distraction. My daughter called me the next day to thank me for the gift. She never even asked why I wasn't there. Apparently, she was so busy running around, she barely noticed. That call gave me so much peace. I knew that if I'd shown up, I would have felt drained and triggered for nothing. Turns out, my ex told everyone I was going to be there. And when I didn't show, but still managed to get my daughter a gift, people noticed. People talked. I got to spend my weekend doing things I actually enjoy, without the mental exhaustion of walking into a staged mess. Update, and this one's got a little humor in it. I've been grinning all week about that little move I pulled. Honestly, things have been going pretty well since. Anyway, here's something funny. One of the only in-laws who didn't ice me out after the divorce reached out during the party. He's actually a really stand-up guy. Send me a text. "Hey man, let's grab some beers this week. People here definitely miss your presence." We met up a few days later, cracked a few cold ones, and got into it. He told me the party was awkward. Tension was thick in the air. No one really knew what to do with OM. My ex didn't even introduce him to anyone. She kept him on a tight leash, directing him around the yard like hired help. The in-laws didn't speak to him. Sat by themselves looking annoyed. Apparently, the guy spent most of the party inside, avoiding eye contact like his life depended on it. There were quiet side comments from aunts and uncles, stuff about the party lacking class and taste. Which, yeah, I could have told you that. I'm trying to reach a place of indifference, and I think I'm getting closer. But hearing all that? I'd be lying if I said it didn't make me laugh. People noticed. My absence spoke volumes. And the fact that I'd already given my daughter a thoughtful gift? That didn't go unnoticed either. Mission accomplished. That's your Friday laugh, and another reminder that playing it cool beats playing into their game every time.